Hello, and welcome to the Brand North Carolina Project Brand Strategy Case, presented by Searchlight Marketing. Who is Searchlight? My name is Sharon Bishop, and I am a brand marketing consultant who recently moved to North Carolina from Florida. I am honored to participate in this opportunity to brand such a great state. My presentation includes the brand position, who is North Carolina now? Who considers North Carolina from an audience standpoint? We'll take a look at the competition. I'll introduce to you a new brand, and from that we'll develop sub-brands, brand promises, a brand story, and take a look at the competitive position. So let's start with, who is North Carolina? North Carolina is known as the Tar Heel State and the Old North State. We are the first in flight, as seen on our license plates. We are the graveyard of the Atlantic. We have excellent universities, home of NASCAR, have armed forces, and a diverse geography. Now let's take a look at the Longwoods Tourism Study from 2010. North Carolina's image versus the competition excelled in a number of areas where we placed first or second. We are found to be worry-free, have a great climate, are unique, affordable, have great sightseeing, and great sports and recreation. Now, these results are based on travelers before they actually visited North Carolina. And the next slide shows you what they thought about us after they visited North Carolina, or our delivery versus the competition. And as you can see, we continue to excel in all the same areas. So what we can take away from this study is that North Carolina's overall brand image is exceeding visitor expectations in these categories. We're worry-free, unique, affordable, have great sports and recreation, wonderful climate, and sightseeing. What's interesting to note is that pre-travel, tourists give North Carolina a lower exciting score, which actually increases once they visit North Carolina and see all we have to offer. From this, I've gleaned the brand personality. I think North Carolina is accessible, friendly, hardworking, fun-loving, and free-thinking. Now, when we align the personality with the key areas as determined by the subcommittee, we feel that the infrastructure is accessible, the people are friendly, business is hardworking, the quality of life is fun-loving, and in terms of education and innovation, we're free thinkers. When we take a look at the personality aligned with the core values that are currently being surveyed amongst North Carolina residents, I think it aligns pretty well. Our hospitality and community is accessible, we're kind and friendly people, we're loyal and responsible workers, who doesn't love to have fun, and we're free thinkers when it comes to creativity and innovation. So who considers North Carolina? The Census Bureau estimates show migration accounts for 60% of North Carolina's population growth over the last 3 years. North Carolina has seen a steady influx of people relocating to the state for the past 10 years, according to Alice Van Line's study. And this graph by the UNC Carolina Population Center shows, why do people move to North Carolina? They come here for work, for family, for affordable housing, or for other reasons. So, from this, I think we can narrow it down to 4 target audiences: businesses for economic development, families, the adult workers that are going to support these new businesses, and students to attend our state colleges and universities, as well as tourists and retirees. Now, how does North Carolina excel for these key target audiences? Let's start with business. North Carolina ranked number 4 in Forbes for Best States for Business report. And when we compare it to Virginia, which ranked number 1, North Carolina actually has lower business costs and higher growth prospects. North Carolina workers are also 36% more productive than the average U.S. worker. Here's a snapshot of the Forbes Best States for Business report, and I've circled here where North Carolina actually exceeds Virginia in business cost rank as well as growth prospects, but it's interesting to note that we're also very competitive in terms of labor supply and regulatory environment. Now, how does North Carolina excel for families? Cities such as Raleigh, Chapel Hill, Cary, and others would be placed in the top 20 as some of the best places to live in the country. The study How North Carolina Compares last year, we ranked higher in per student spending for grades K through 12 as well as having a lower average in-state tuition at public four-year colleges and universities. According to Longwoods, we have a worry-free environment with unique experiences. Now, how does North Carolina excel for retirees? Most residents enjoy a cost of living that is below the national average based on the ACRA Cost of Living Index. We have a subtropical climate and beautiful geography, and a worry-free environment with unique experiences. How does North Carolina excel for tourists? North Carolina ranked number 6 in U.S. for domestic visitation. The state's natural scenic beauty, rich history and culture, vibrant cities, quaint small towns, and central East Coast location make it an ideal travel destination. According to the North Carolina Visitor Profile Report from 2012, 86% of visitors drove, making the infrastructure a key factor to tourism. Top activities included visiting relatives, shopping, beach, visiting friends, rural sightseeing, and fine dining. What's interesting to note is the majority of overnighters, as well as day trippers, are our own in-state residents. Now let's take a look at the competition. I've taken the same 6 states that were used in the Longwood study and found this information on the internet. So Florida is known as the Sunshine State. Their slogan is Visit Florida. They have beach vacations, amusement parks, retirement communities, and a fast-growing multicultural population. Virginia is known as the Old Dominion State, and Virginia is for lovers. They have historic sites and battlefields. They are home to the CIA and Department of Defense. They have wineries and national parks. South Carolina is known as the Palmetto State. Their new slogan is Just Right. It was formerly Smiling Faces, Beautiful Places. They're a good golf destination, family vacations, good old barbecue, and historic Charleston. Tennessee is known as the Volunteer State. Their slogan is America at its best. There's music in Memphis and Nashville, Graceland, and the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. Georgia is known as the Peach State. Their slogan is Georgia on my mind. They're known for film and TV productions like On with the Wind, Jimmy Carter, Broadcast TV, the Georgia Aquarium, and historic Savannah. West Virginia is known as the Mountain State. Their slogan is Wild and Wonderful West Virginia. They're known for coal mining and outdoor activities such as hiking the Appalachian Trail, whitewater rafting, cave exploration, and hunting. Drum roll, please. I would like to introduce to you a new brand. What should North Carolina stand for? We are pioneers, free thinkers, and champions of education and innovation. We feature a diverse yet accessible geography with a temperate climate. Our communities are worry-free and affordable. We are friendly people, hardworking, creative, and fun-loving. We enjoy the many unique and exciting activities in our state. Now for the new brand for North Carolina, what I propose is a new state nickname, the Voyager State. Now what is a Voyager? It can be an entrepreneur, a traveler, a navigator, a jet setter, a hero, a pilgrim, a romantic, a fortune hunter. It can mean lots of different things. So how is this relevant to North Carolina, the Voyager State? From early U.S. history, North Carolina was the site of the first colony of the English Pilgrims. Blackbeard the Swashbuckler spent time in North Carolina, and the remains of his flagship was found here. North Carolina was a pioneer in being the first state to declare independence from the Crown. Caravas County was the site of America's first gold rush and saw many fortune hunters. In Wilmingwood, as we like to call it, and other parts of North Carolina, we see jet setters on film shoot locations. In North Carolina, tourists can experience many types of adventure. Nicholas Sparks lives here, and he is a romantic novelist. In North Carolina, you will find heroes and heroines, from our war heroes, former presidents, active military, stock car winners, U.S. Olympians, and TV film stars like Andy Griffith, the Iron Man, and more. The concept for a sub-brand would be a slogan that can be customized to the target audiences as well as to the key areas of North Carolina. The word in parentheses would change based on the audience. North Carolina, the Voyager state. Voyagers live here. Our sub-brands for target audiences would be, for business, opportunists live here. For family, explorers live here. For tourists, adventurers live here. And retirees, pioneers live here. And the sub-brands for our key areas would be, for business, opportunists live here. Education, explorers live here. Innovation, pioneers live here. Infrastructure, navigators live here. Quality of life, adventurers live here. And our people, heroes live here. Brand promises. The definition of a brand promise is a statement that the organization uses internally to focus its efforts on what its brand must deliver externally to satisfy the needs of its customers. Given the variety of audiences North Carolina is addressing, the brand promise has been customized by target market. So what's a brand promise to business? To opportunists and entrepreneurs, North Carolina is the accessible location that provides the incentives, hardworking people, and innovation for growth. To tourists, North Carolina is the diverse landscape that offers unique activities, adventure, and fun-loving hospitality. To families, North Carolina is a friendly place to call home that is worry-free, offers excellent education, and many exciting adventures. To retirees, North Carolina is a beautiful place to enjoy the golden years that is rich in history, affordable, and friendly. And finally, to our people, North Carolina is the beautiful state that offers excellent education, employment opportunities, and a better quality of life. The brand story. Beginning with the first English colonists who landed on our shores, voyagers from around the world have discovered North Carolina and made it their home. From the mountain peaks to the fertile plains and the scenic shoreline, adventurers have charted the beauty and bounty of North Carolina. Our people are hard-working, responsible pioneers, and creative free thinkers. We were the first to secede from the crown, the first to create a state university, the first in flight, and the innovation continues. Travelers to North Carolina feel the excitement in our unique attractions and our friendly, fun-loving hospitality. We strive to keep our communities accessible, worry-free, and affordable. We are North Carolina, the Voyager state. Now, how does this new brand compare to the competition? Let's go back to the state mottos and slogans, and I'm going to make some generalizations here. Florida, the Sunshine State, has a slogan, Visit Florida. I'm assuming that's all about tourism. Georgia, the Peach State, Georgia is on my mind. They're looking for recall and to have people keep them in top-of-mind awareness. For visitation, I imagine. South Carolina, the Palmetto State, just right. I'm not sure what that means just yet. The Old Dominion State, Virginia is for lovers. Now, it's been a great campaign and appropriate for tourism and adult travelers, but is it appropriate for business? Tennessee, the Volunteer State, America at its best. It's such a generalized statement. West Virginia, the Mountain State, wild and wonderful West Virginia. To me, that's all about topography and activity. So what does our new brand name mean? North Carolina, the Voyager State. It's about the people. Thank you for your time today and listening to my presentation, and I appreciate your consideration.